Hello, everybody. Welcome to Contrarian Road. I am the Contrarian 357. I'll say this. I've said this once. I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. Obama is a treasonous, seditious, communist piece of crap. Don't tell me he ain't no communist. Look, the man is an adult, but I have to say I have a small slither amount of sympathy for him. In this respect, he's been groomed since a child to be the way that he is right now. He's been groomed to be a far left revolutionary. His mama was a far leftist. His daddy, his real daddy, Frank Marshall Davis, was a card-carrying communist, straight up commie. All right. But look, where are we right now? After the election, Obama decided to stay in D.C. Now, the talk is he wanted to stay in D.C. because his daughter's still in school. He didn't want to just uproot her like that. You'd think he would go back to Chicago and pretend that he cared about the black people of Chicago, but he stayed in D.C. Got a home in D.C. and he's got a new home there. His home acts as a nerve center to carry out his subversive activities. And also, his dominatrix, the actor from the Planet of the Apes movies, Valerie Jarrett, she's moved in to help assist. He's still he still wants to fundamentally transform America. Remember that? I mean, he's being a persistent communist. I mean, what can you say? Organizing for America. Ever heard of it? OFA. This was formed in part by his husband, Michelle, after he won re-election in 2012. This organization right now, its main goal is to stop Donald Trump from implementing his policies. Now, we all know what Trump stands for, right? Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Economic liberty. Individual liberty, enforce our immigration laws, so on and so forth. Now, Donald Trump, he's not playing by the rules. He's throwing a monkey wrench into the globalist program. Now, here's where the globalist puppet Obama comes in. The coup began immediately, but the calls to delegitimize Trump came months before. Now, here's where the Trump-Putin collusion narrative comes in. In June 2016, Obama's FBI went to the FISA court, FISA, that'll be the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. They went to this court, the FBI, to draw a warrant in the suspicion that Trump had ties to Russian banks. Now, this request was denied, which is unusual because, let me put this in perspective. From 1979 to 2015, only of the thousands upon thousands of warrants that have warrant requests, that have come to this court, only 12 before this request had been denied. So that tells you something. Anyway, they wanted to focus squarely on Trump and some of his associates for allegedly having irregular contacts with Russian officials. Like I said, this request was denied. The FBI was asked to narrow their scope. Now, in October 2016, they went to redraw for this warrant, and this time they just asked to investigate U.S. persons with irregular contacts with Russian officials and the equipment, the phones and his server in Trump Tower. That request was granted. Now, here's the thing. According to FBI sources, the servers that were allegedly linked to Russian banks had no criminal intent. So you know what? The FBI had no business drawing that warrant, and that judge had no business granting that warrant. And to top that off, your Lord and Savior, Barack Obama, allowed the NSA to take the global personal communications that they intercepted and share their intel with the 16 other intelligence agencies. Now, Obama was able to do this because he allowed that particular intel to be of a lower classification. And that was shared amongst the 16 other agencies. Now, what does this mean? Shit gonna get leaked to the media. It was intentional, by the way. Now, Trump is elected and the witch hunt begins immediately. Now, Michael Flynn, he's the former National Security Advisor. The transcripts to the conversation with that Michael Flynn had with the Russian ambassador was leaked to the media. Before that, though, Mike Pence had an interview in which he was asked, was Michael Flynn in contact with any Russian officials? Mike Pence said no. Before that, Mike Pence had a conversation with Michael Flynn. Did you have any contact with any Russian officials? Michael Flynn said no. That conversation was leaked. He lost his job. Sounds like a setup to me. But Michael Flynn, he worked under the Obama administration. He's had conversations with many foreign dignitaries. It is quite plausible that out of all the conversations he's had, when he was asked the question about Mike Pence, did you have any contact with Russian officials? It is quite plausible that he either forgot about the conversation or he misspoke. He lost his job. Now, who's the current National Security Advisor? A guy named H.R. McMaster. He is a globalist, Council of Foreign Relations guy, a CFR guy. You know what's happening here? The Democrats and Obama's cronies trying to keep the globalists in their positions as long as they can to disrupt Trump as much as they can. Now, the Trump-Putin collusion narrative also got Jeff Sessions hemmed up. Now, let's go back to January during the confirmation hearings of Jeff Sessions. Senator Al Franken, let me stop for a second. A bunch of you liberal idiots keep going on about Trump. He was just a celebrity. He had no experience in politics. He was a celebrity and a reality TV star. He ain't got no business being president. He did nothing to be a president. He had no experience in politics at all. Now he went from celebrity to president. What the fuck do you call Al Franken? What the fuck did he do? You kidding me? He was Stuart Smalley on SNL. Now he ain't a president. He's a senator. You kidding me? You mean he gets a pass? Anyway, Senator Al Franken asked Senator Jeff Sessions during the confirmation hearings if there is any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government in the course of this campaign, what would you do? Sessions responded, I am not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have any communications with the Russians, and I am unable to comment. But wait a minute. Jeff Sessions did have communications with the Russian ambassador as in his role as the Senate Armed Services Committee. He purged himself at the confirmation hearings. Now, the Democrats will have you believe that the question that was posed was all encompassing, and that Jeff Sessions should have mention any communications with the Russian ambassador. I mean, but the question that was posed clearly did not ask for that. But there was so much vulgarity with that exchange and so many calls for his resignation that Jeff Sessions he was bullied into recusing himself. He eventually recused himself from any possible investigations into the presidential campaign. Now, if there would be a investigation, guess what? The Deputy Attorney General, who is an Obama holdover, would preside over it. That is, unless the Senate will go ahead and confirm Trump's Deputy Attorney General. Again, do you see what's going on? They're trying to keep their guys in as soon as possible. These bastards are obstructing the democratic process. Now, earlier I mentioned OFA, Organizing for America. Now, if you recall, there were some protests at some Republican town halls, and these protesters were protesting the repeal of Obamacare. Now, let me ask you, do you think those protests were organic? Well, no, they weren't. Organizing for America was linked to this group called Indivisible, which is linked to George Soros. George Soros, are you surprised? Shouldn't be. These groups send out their professional protesters to these town halls. Hell, they even have manuals on how these professional protesters are to conduct themselves. They're told how to walk into a room, how to fill a room, how to ask questions, how to react to certain things that politicians say. Like Obama is very methodical and very conniving. And what's so sad about all of this, Obama and his cronies aren't doing this on any ethical or moral grounds. They're doing this strictly for political conquest and control. Obama's a communist. Obama, that son of a bitch, he's using police state tactics and Soviet tactics to get his mission done. For two reasons. One, to mend his tattered, pathetic legacy as president. Number two, because he takes globalist dick up his bodily orifices. Because he's a queer. I'm the Contrarian 357, y'all. I'm signing off from Contrarian Row. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. And as always, if you take offense to anything in this video tonight, guess what? I don't give a fuck. Thank you for watching, y'all. Have a good night.